Alrighty, so just starting up a fresh clip. I just noticed that the battery's a bit on the low side, but I wanted to start a fresh clip in the off chance that something interesting happens in the next few minutes. So yeah, the new picket sign slogan here. By the way, it's February 2nd of 2020, Groundhog Day. I'm in the middle of my Groundhog Day themed protest against Unitarian Universalist clergy abuse and various other Unitarian Universalist injustices, abuses, and hypocrisy. Essentially, it's been a tradition of mine to blog about Unitarian Universalist clergy abuse and the shadow of the Unitarian Universalist religious community on Groundhog Day. You know, basically making a little play on the theme of, you know, the groundhog looking out and seeing the shadow or not on Groundhog Day. Well, guess what? Every time I look out on Groundhog Day, I see the shadow of Unitarian Universalism's clergy abuse problem, to say nothing of the shadow of various other Unitarian Universalist injustices, abuses, and hypocrisy. And the reason I see the shadow every February 2nd is because the Unitarian Universalist religious community does very little to responsibly clean up the mess when a minister commits some form of clergy misconduct, or when there's some other, you know, serious injustice, you know, in the community. You know, sometimes they'll try to fix things, but more often than not, in my experience and observation, they either do nothing at all to responsibly address the problem, or they address it in an inadequate way that is effectively complicit in the problem. And this certainly applies to my own direct personal experiences of Unitarian Universalism. Not only do they fail and refuse to deal responsibly with the issues at hand, but they go out of their way to escalate the conflict by various means. I'm just going to check to see if this is still running, because the battery was showing it was pretty well dead and I should replace it. So I just wanted a clip in case, you know, something happened in terms of this driver that came within a couple of feet of backing into my tripod, but stopped short of doing so. But I think it might have been, you know, I've spoken about intimidation. It's possible that this was an attempt at intimidating me somewhat, because there's plenty of space in front. In fact, I will show. Hello. Happy Groundhog Day. Talking about the shadow of your religious community this morning. It's still there because you don't do anything to clean it up. So that's a longtime member of the Lakeshore Unitarian Universalist congregation. But look at this car here. This car came within, you know, a very short distance of my tripod, which is placed in such a way as to not impede traffic. This person had plenty of room to... Hi there.
Hi Robin. Don't you remember my name after all the times I've talked to you?
George?
Christopher. Take care, Robin.
Yeah, well, maybe you should remember what I'm protesting about and do something about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The more you don't do anything, the more I protest. It's that simple. So yeah, looking at this situation here, lots and lots of space here to park a car. Now, I suppose, you know, maybe they could argue that they didn't want to block the entrance for people crossing the street, like this fellow, Chris. By the way, the George thing was a joke. I actually had not remembered his name, but I'd spoken to him once or twice. But you know, just because you speak to someone once or twice doesn't mean you remember the name. You might not even know it in the first place. I actually don't recall him telling me what his name is. So it's possible he didn't. It's also possible that he did, and I simply forgot. You know, I don't remember everybody's name. You know, all the time, and neither do a whole bunch of other people. Yeah, so that's it. There was plenty of room here. Plenty of room here to...
You don't want anybody to fall, do you?
What? What?
You don't want anybody to fall, do you?
I'm sorry, I didn't...
Do you want anybody... You don't want anybody to fall, do you?
No, I don't.
Would you like to clear the sidewalk for us?
Well, it looks like you're about to do it. But this is actually, it's very interesting. You should say, no, but this is an interesting theme, because what you're doing is you're clearing the sidewalk so people don't fall and hurt themselves.
That's right.
Right. And that's a responsible thing to do. And you're asking me to help. You're asking me to do it, or you're even asking me to do it for you. So you know what? I would actually do that for you. But you know what? This is a direct parallel to how Unitarian Universalists deal with clergy abuse. When somebody says, I've been abused by a Unitarian Universalist minister, will you help me to clean up the mess? Will you help me to ensure that this is responsibly handled? Well, guess what? It doesn't happen. And you're one of the people who is totally complicit in every single injustice and abuse. Not, you know, my situation is a small fraction of Unitarian Universalist clergy abuse problem. It's not even sexual abuse, it's non-sexual abuse. But when I've asked Unitarian Universalists to help me clear the sidewalk, to make it safe for other people, not just myself, you don't do it. So thank you for this wonderful analogy, Chris. You're actually cleaning, this is excellent. This is superb, video. Here's Chris from the Lakeshore Unitarian Universalist Church clearing the sidewalk, very responsibly cleaning up the mess. Chris, you would perhaps like to know that I use the term clean up the mess when I'm talking to Unitarian Universalists about clergy abuse. I'm saying clean it up, deal with it, make it safe for other people, and they're not doing it. And they're certainly not doing anything for people who have already been hurt by Unitarian Universalist ministers. So you're doing the right thing here, Chris. And you know what? For a purely symbolic thing, I'm prepared to take your shovel right now and help you with that. I'm prepared to help you right now clean up this mess when not even if, and not even when, I'll do it right now just to prove that I actually will clean up messes. I will try to that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to make things safer for other people so that they don't fall and hurt themselves, as it were, when they are badly mistreated by a Unitarian Universalist minister, or indeed a Unitarian Universalist church, and are further mistreated when they try to seek what's called justice, equity, and compassion in human relations. See, I'd be only too happy to help you clean that up. Would you like me to help you, Chris? Would you like me to help you clean up that ice, just to prove that I actually do that kind of thing? Because that's what I'm doing right now. I'm encouraging Unitarian Universalists to clean up their mess, to make it safe for for people, not even just Unitarian Universalists, for anyone who goes to a Unitarian church. I'm trying to make it...
If you really wanted to talk to me, you'd put that camera down.
No.
If you wanted to have a sincere conversation...
Well, we can have a sincere conversation right now. What you think? You don't...
That camera there, you wouldn't have that camera there if you wanted a sincere conversation.
Oh, well, we can have a sincere... What's the problem with the camera? Why can't we have a sincere conversation in front of the camera?
Because you're recording for an audience.
Right.
You're not with me. You are not with me.
You're not with me. You're not with me.
You're with the camera.
No, you're not. We can have a sincere... I've had lots of sincere conversations with people in front of this camera. We can have a sincere conversation. I suspect you don't want a sincere conversation because you don't want a record of it. And this is part of the problem. So, got some more people showing up here. So yes, I am indeed engaged in a bit of a monologue. I'm taking advantage of some symbolism here. And this is an excellent analogy. Here's Chris cleaning the path with these...